this is Jana with Purl Together, and today I'm going to show you how to fix a miscrossed cable. So I'm working on my second cozy winter shawl. The first one I knitted, if you recall, for a fundraiser, and I'd really like the pattern, so I decided to make one for myself. And I made it out of this really kind of chunky, it's a heavy, I don't know if I'd call it bulky, but it's definitely a heavy worsted weight, and it's hand spun that my mom spun. So it's kind of this kind of smoky, bluish, gray, love it. Anyway, so what happened here in this particular section, these were all left cable crosses until I wasn't paying attention and there wasn't a left cable cross. I had crossed it the wrong way and then went, whoopsie, one of these is not like the other. So let me show you how I fixed it. Before I do that though, I want to give a quick shout out and a heartfelt public thank you to all my patrons. These are people that support this channel and keep videos coming to you every single week. For just a few dollars a month, I have an exclusive Facebook group for patrons only. I have patron-only videos. Sometimes videos for knit-alongs are released a little bit early for patrons. So there's different perks. And then we also have virtual knit night for certain levels of support. So check that out at patreon.com/Purl Together. Okay, let me show you how I fixed that miscrossed cable. So as you can see, all of these are cable twists to the left, 3/3 left cable crosses, until, whoopsie, clearly I was not paying attention while knitting, watching whatever show I was watching at the time, and I went to the right. So I know that I need to fix this, and I certainly do not want to tink back however many rows that is. That's actually 6 rows, because I'm about ready to do the next one, and there's 5 in between, the 5 rows in between the cable crosses. But over the course of this entire width of this shawl, now that I've gotten pretty far into it, that's many hundred stitches. So what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to take a look and see how I'm going to drop down. These are the 6 stitches that are involved in the cable pattern. So what I'm going to do is make sure that I have those isolated in my mind. Okay, here's the purl stitch that frames this cable panel, if you will, or the cable column. Here's the purl stitch on this side that frames that. So I'm going to take these 6 and I'm going to drop them off the needle. Now I know that seems super scary, and kind of it is, but the alternative is, you know, ripping back many rows. So if it goes awry, I guess I'll still have to do that. So I don't have anything to lose by trying it, is the point. So I'm going to slip my left needle off of those 6 and kind of just pinch them together. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull that through so I know that that's, you know, reasonably secured. I don't have to mess with that. So I know that I'm only going to be messing around with these 6 stitches. And then I'm going to slowly take these out one by one, and I'm going to ladder them down. So that's the first one. And when I say ladder them down, these horizontal strands remind me of the rungs of a ladder, so I guess that's why I think of it in that way. So there's the second one. And you're going to want to try to determine the order of these, as you know, so that you pick them up in the right way. But I'll show you. All right, so we're kind of getting down to it. And let me move some of that business out of the way. You'll see here, let me make sure we're good and focused here. Okay. Now, I'm about to wear the cross. You can feel it. I'm pinching right here where that cable cross happens. Up, and I just took out, because as I was pulling this ladder rung, it went bloop and it went back. So you can tell that's where I crossed. And now I'm going to reorient this, take my cable needle and pick these up. So I know there should be 6 of them. 1, 2. Okay, there's 1 here. 3. There we go. 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I've gotten all 6 of those back where they belong. Now I know that these 3 should cross over the front of these 3, not vice versa, and that's where I made my mistake. So I need to simply reorient these, and I can straighten all that, kind of straighten all that out and pull that to the back. I'm going to pretend this is the left-hand needle, and we're going to do a cable cross without a cable needle, just like we would if we were regularly knitting. So I'm going to take my right-hand needle, go to the back, grab up those 3 that are on the left-hand side, and pinch the 3 that are on the right, slip my double point out and recapture those 3 and bring them over to the left. Now I'm going to put everything back on my double point and make sure that I have it twisted the right way, and now it is. Okay, now the trick is going to be to pick up this mess. So I have all these rungs of the ladder now, and I can plainly see that this one is going to be next. You could certainly use a crochet hook here. You might find that helpful. I'm going to put that on as if it were a stitch that I'm going to knit, and I'm going to kind of secure the slack down here underneath my middle finger. I'm going to lay it over the needle, and then I'm going to go through and draw it up through the knit stitches just like I normally would if I were picking up a stitch that I had dropped. Okay, so there's 2, and then I'm just placing those over on the right hand side. Okay, let me get the ladder rung over. Okay, pulling those over the top, putting the ladder rung back on the left needle, and I'm just drawing these over the top of the ladder rung section. Hopefully that makes sense. And then moving them, shuffling them over to the right hand needle. So again, I'm just laying the ladder rung over the left hand needle, taking my right hand needle and drawing that over the top and pulling the ladder rung through it, and then moving this over to the right. Okay. Now that's going to seem really loose and weird, but it will all even out. Trust me, it will all even out. Now what I'm going to do is move all 6 of those stitches back to my DPN and do the same thing again. And I have 4 or so more to do. I'm just using this needle and keeping all of these live stitches down on the cable portion if you can. Okay, so then go determine your next ladder rung, and I can plainly see that there is the next one. So again, I'm just going to kind of grab that, lay it over the top of my double point, and I'm just using this as my tool. Lay it over the top, take the left hand stitch, pull it over, and use my DPN to pull the ladder rung through, and put it back on the right hand needle. And just keep doing that, all 6 of those stitches, and that's how we're going to weave that panel of 6 stitches back up. And while this seems super fiddly, I guarantee you it is faster than tinking, ripping, and re-knitting however many 100 stitches that would have been to repair that. Okay. So again, slowly, I'm just laying that over my left hand double pointed needle, and then I'm going in underneath as if to purl, and I'm pulling that over and pulling the ladder rung through with the DPN. Then I'm going to put all these back onto the left side, onto my DPN, and do the same thing with the next ladder rung. All right, I have finished with all my ladder rungs, and I'm back where I was. And you can't even tell I had a mishap. And so the 5 or 6 minutes that took me to do that was infinitely less time than it would have taken me to frog all that back, even if I had a lifeline, and then re-knit 6 rows of several hundred, totaling several hundred stitches. So I'm going to put 3 of these back on because now it is time for me to do my next cable, and I'll simply hold that to the front and perform my next cable and carry on with my cozy winter. All right, so now I know you're thinking that's all great if the cable that you've miscrossed, if you notice it in time, but what happens if you miscrossed one like way on down here? There is a way to fix that, and I'll explain it briefly. I have yet to try it, but when I do, I'll video it so you can see how it goes or doesn't. It's very complicated, but let's just say for the sake of conversation that I had miscrossed one that's way down here, and I either don't have the inclination or the bravery to do that cable or that panel thing where we drop down the ladders like dozens of rows all the way down to here. Now there is a way that you can put a lifeline into just these stitches here and grab a hold of them, and then actually take a little bitty scissors and cut it, yes, cut it, switch it around to the back, and Kitchener the thing back together. When I saw that on Suzanne Bryan's channel, shout out to her because that's brilliant. I don't know if she figured that out or she got it from someone else, but that's where I first saw it. I about had a heart attack. I just about threw up a little bit. Yeah, when she cut that cable and put it around to the other side and woo, Okay, so yeah, I haven't done that yet, but it's possible. And I understand in theory how it would work, but yeah, no, I haven't done that. If you know of another way to fix a miscrossed cable that's way too far down to ladder down like I showed you, let me know in the comments down below. All right, as always, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in our other social media groups. Take care.